And welcome to this very special, probably 2-hour event. We are going to give you the Kahoot experience. So I'm going to go get that set up. I'll just play music while I'm something interesting like that. Oh no.
It's not good enough for me since I've been with you. Ooh. It's not gonna work for you. Nobody can equal me. No. I'm gonna stick on the strength. I'm fucked up. She know how to get. I'm gonna catch her. Be the one she push up against me. Ooh, she is. I had enough go to 24. I bet you from across the road. Pretty little body that's a lot of and you are unforgettable. I need to get you alone.
New Jersey's highest rated DJ company, Posh Entertainment.
Coming in another direction. Thankful for that, such a blessing, yeah. Turn every situation into heaven, yeah. Oh, you are my sunrise on the darkest day. Got me feeling some kind of way. Made me wanna savor every moment slowly. Tell me love how you put it on. Got me on the key, know how to turn it on. The way you never lie my ear, the only words I wanna hear. Baby, take it so. That's why I speak.
Hagan bulla, aquí hay baño, everybody, mi gente mía, la lleva el mundo en alegría, todos juntos a la montaña, ven y parte, dominicana en el podio, tocando fuerte y yo te siento que quiero verte chocando cuerpo, tomando la ropa así se goza, poniendo una cosa con mucho swing, gelatín, calientita, ponerle tinti, que gana que buena baila, te da la vuelta para mí otra vez, llegó el negro de la joya, fulano de esta cosa, voy a tocar.
And welcome to the WW Tuesday. Keyboard. I'm just doing it. Wait till I really. Who is this? I fucked up bad. Okay. Stand by.
Correcto.
Tonight, I'm alone, and I'm missing
Life away tonight. We start as friends, build it up again. Maybe we can make it through longer lasting brand new. You don't know what you're doing to me, doing to me. There's nowhere I'd rather be. There's nowhere I'd rather be. There's nowhere I'd rather be.
Look in my eyes at you. When I try to tonight, what do I do? Cause you're if it was
Ladies and
Maybe three fingers.
Grandma, are you over here right now on this side of the room right now?
What?
Are you on this side of the room right now? Just doing and putting in a load of laundry? Shit. I was going to ask you to hand me the room and the dustpan. Thank you. We're going to get ready to change over from games to sports. But for right now, let's just listen to that. Sneakers. I need my sneakers. I don't want to get glass on my foot. Thanks, Jeremy. Just leave it right there. Ow.
The neighbors don't need it.
All right. What did I do yesterday?
Nothing.
Jessica was on Jim's back porch yesterday.
Oh,
Sunny.
I can't wait for you to get down there.
Whoa, what was that?
That was the kitty litter, Mom. Get the curtain out of the kitty litter. I had this
The
whole.
curtain's not in the kitty litter.
I made your town. Oh my God.
Oh, there are my pants. I didn't need anything. I just need a shirt because it's freezing. And I'm doing a podcast, recording a podcast, and I gotta mute the thing up with. Thank you, guys. Let's see what I want to talk about. Football. Let's see. So, let's see. Talk about the suspended. So we have right now going on at 1 o'clock. Saints at Buffalo. Green Bay and Chicago. Cleveland and Detroit. Pittsburgh and Indianapolis. Jets and Tampa Bay at Tampa Bay. Bengals and Tennessee. Last 1 o'clock game is the Washington and Minnesota Vikings at Washington. Then at 4:05, Houston and LA. Then at 4:25, I think that's ever. Wait a second. Are the Jets at home? Jets are not. Give me 1 second. Are they home or away? Let's see.
Full of corn there. We still got several loads to go to the ethanol plant, so we're hauling some corn out. We got one guy in a truck right now on his way to the ethanol plant. We got another guy up a mile north of here. He's looking over the... We're going to take this grain cart up, and as soon as we finish the field we're in now, we're going to go about 5 miles north. We're going to get into some big hills there, and we're hoping it's drying up, and we're not going to fight. So it is just about 11 o'clock. We did some running around this morning, did some maintenance, got these things ready to go. We're going to hope that we can knock this out. What happens is we got a lot of dew overnight, and the plants, the soybean plants will take that moisture in overnight, and then the pods, they get kind of tough and they don't snap open real easy, so they get hard to thresh out with the combine. So all we got to do is we wait for the sun to come out and the wind to pick up a little bit. We give them a couple hours, and they dry up, and they're back to a dry plant again. A lot of times that happens with soybean harvest. I'd say we get that 5 out of 7 days a week with soybean harvest. When it comes to corn harvest, that's not a factor because the kernels and the stalks don't matter if they uptake the moisture because of the way we feed them through the header, and the kernels don't take that moisture in either. So with corn, that isn't such a big deal. I don't know if you can hear it on camera or not, but they're kind of grinding in underneath me.
What?
And they're kind of wrapping around the...
Who is it? I'm shutting the door. What are you doing home?
Because I didn't open it from last night. I went to them today. Okay. And the reason why it's locked, the only reason why it's locked is because you locked it last night. And now you haven't been out. I didn't go to work today. Why? I don't know. What was that document saying? The only one that was in there was the cat. That I know of.
Known to be good and not so good about this new headset. From plastic housing all around, which do well over time. You also get an Alcantara headband on the inlay here. It's called a memory foam, but the incredibly clamping force is spot on.
I can't.
The only thing I will say is that when you're actually not using your headphones and you're turning the ear cups out like that, they're really tight around my neck.
This has to go in the garbage.
Completely extend the headband. So bear that in mind if you're kind of. Additionally, you can fold up the entire headset to a pretty small size. It comes in
I don't care.
A very compact travel case. On the right ear cup, you get a power switch that also acts as a Bluetooth pairing switch. And pairing this guy is super quick and easy. I had no issues whatsoever connecting it to my Pixel 1. And additionally, at the bottom, we've got a micro USB charging port. It does come included with a charging cable as well. Charging time takes about 2.5 hours, but you get 20 hours of playback time, and that's with the active noise canceling enabled. Bose also claims that with just a 15-minute charge, you get 2.5 hours of playtime, which is great if you're in a pinch. Next to the micro USB port, we've got a battery life LED indicator which will flash orange as you're charging and will turn solid green to let you know that it's at 100%. Next to that is a Bluetooth LED. It's a pairing LED, of course, and that's right next to a trio of buttons. The ones on the outside are your Oh, hey, Chris. How was the colonoscopy?
Oh, brutal, man. I don't know, something snapped off and it's just hurting.
Yikes. Sorry about that. Hey, you know how some dogs sort of look like their owners? What if just for you guys? No, of course not. This is actually going to be my cousin's gaming PC that I helped him assemble, or that I helped him pick out the parts for. I actually did a video. You can go ahead and check that out, where I sort of make a parts list, and that parts list looks drastically different from the hardware you see before me, because I went back to the drawing board several times and was like, no, that doesn't make sense. That's stupid. So I've swapped it out from, it was originally going to be an Intel system, and now it's AMD Ryzen. What do you know? It just seemed to make more sense with his budget and stuff. For those of you curious, the build we're looking at today is around $1,200 MSRP, you know, give or take $100 or so, depending on the prices, how they fluctuate all the time and stuff. But let's go ahead and go over the parts, shall we? One by one. I'm going to do it really quick because we've got a lot of building to do right afterwards. So first up, our CPU of the hour is the Ryzen 5 1600. It's a 6-core, 12-thread part. Boosts up to 3.6 gigahertz. I am going to try to push that a bit further with a manual overclock for Brandon. He's not into overclocking. He's not too familiar with it, so I'm going to try to squeeze the most performance out of it as I can with the help of this cooler. Now, this was originally the cooler that Brandon bought and paid for. Is this one right here. This is the CryoRig H7, a really great price-performance cooler. However, I forgot to tell Brandon to also pick up or order an AM4 bracket to go along with it, because it doesn't come with one. So it's not supported with Ryzen natively out of the box. So it's going to take probably a few weeks for that bracket to get here. So in the meantime, we're using this Noctua NH equivalent to the number of 2.5-inch or 3.5-inch drives that you'll at our CPU socket. And this is basically where the CPU gets physically mounted or inserted on the motherboard. And this one in particular is the AM4 socket. AM4 is only compatible with AMD Ryzen CPUs, at least at the time of filming. So don't bother putting in a non-Ryzen AMD chip or an Intel chip, God forbid. Bad things will happen if you do. So just stick to Ryzen for AM4 and you'll be good to go. So if you are building an Intel rig right now, I would suggest going to some sort of tutorial. Maybe I'll link one. I'll put a card somewhere if I can find a good tutorial on how to do that on the Intel platform. But for ZIF sockets for Ryzen, it's really quite simple. All you do is lift up this bar here. There's a little bar that's got a little latch. You kind of got to push it to the side a little bit and then lift it up like so. And then get your CPU out. I will remind you guys not to leave any fingerprints on your CPU, particularly on the top. You don't want to touch this top heat spreader here. That's a no-no. You want to grab it from the sides. So here's the CPU, all right? You can grab the edges. Edges are fine. Also, do not touch the golden contacts, the golden pins, I should say, on the bottom.